Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to talk for a second about the debate, quote unquote, that we just had with Dean Odle and Greg Locke. And most of you probably maybe seen clips of it or have heard about it or decided not to watch it or to watch it. And it kind of ended the way I thought it would. But one of the things that really kind of jumped out at me, and I mean, this is just, my observations. I did think Dean did a really good job with his presentation. He took about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just breaking it all down. Most of the stuff, if you've done any amount of research on it, you would know probably 90% of what he presented or have seen it in some way, shape, or form as it relates to biblical cosmology. And then Pastor Greg Locke did his presentation, and he admittedly said he hadn't even started researching it until I guess it was maybe a few weeks ago when he made his $30,000 challenge that anybody that wanted to get up in front of him or in front of his congregation and challenge him to a debate on flat earth, he'd give them the platform and give them as much time as they needed and all of that jazz. Well, there's a Bible verse. It's I think it's Proverbs 11:2 that talks about pride. I think it's pride coming before disgrace, and that humility leads to wisdom. And one of the things that Dean was trying to make a point to Greg about was, you're approaching this from a standpoint of like, hey, I already know that the earth is a globe. You don't have to, tell me or present any kind of evidence or, whatever it might be. But the issue with that, and I mean, I've watched several Dean Odle sermons, and I've seen him, speak on biblical cosmology. Always seems to do an excellent job on that. And there's some other teachings that I've thought that, like, hey, you're pretty spot on that as well. But and I've made a video about this before, talking about how flat earthers and Mandela effect, that when we're saying the same thing essentially, that the nature of our reality isn't what we think it is. It isn't what we're being told that it is. And Dean is very adamant that the Bible, the physical Bible, cannot be changed. It is God's word. It is inerrant. It is infallible. It cannot be changed. And he denies strongly that this Mandela effect, quantum effect, he makes a mockery of it. He does a lot of the same things that you see Pastor Greg Locke do in this video. And it's very strange that same pride that he can recognize, he can see it clearly in Pastor Locke about how he sees the earth and he sees this biblical cosmology or non-biblical cosmology. He recognizes that very clearly there, but doesn't even see it in his own view, his own understanding of what people are saying in the Mandela effect community. And it works the other way too. a lot of times when, if you're a Mandela effect proponent, and you don't see flat earth changes, a lot of times they get the same way. They're very adamant, or see flat earth, I'm sorry, not flat earth changes, but they don't see flat earth either. They don't see the NASA fakery. They don't see it the same way that we do, or I guess we do, that their side sees Mandela effect deniers. They don't see it the same way. So it's very, I find it very strange. And there's another video I made about spiritual blindness and how it affects us. And I think pride is one of those things that, it doesn't matter what the topic is. And I'm speaking to myself directly because, a lot of times when it comes to just my daily interaction with my wife, I can be that person. I can be that Greg Locke who refuses to see the biblical cosmology. I can be Dean Odle refusing to see Mandela effect changes. But I'm that way on just whatever it is, whatever a financial situation, or where we're hunting for a house right now, and the housing situation. And a lot of times, like last night specifically, I came across that exact same way. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that guy. I look at Greg Locke, and I look at these guys when they're in that zone where they're, oh, you ain't gonna tell me that the earth is not a sphere, and just da 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 da. And I'm like, man, do I sound like that when my own pride and my own I don't know if you want to call it arrogance or ego or whatever, when it takes over, do I sound like that? Is that me? And I just can't see it because I'm spiritually blind to whatever it is, how I'm approaching my wife, or how I'm approaching my kids, or just on a daily basis. Is that what it looks like? Because if it is, I've got some major work to do in my own life, just on the daily stuff. I see biblical cosmology, I see Mandela effect changes, but I don't even see sometimes where I've made a mistake or made some error in my own understanding of just day-to-day life and activities. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be Pastor Locke denying the earth is flat, despite the mountain of evidence that's there, and just refusing to see it, refusing to acknowledge that maybe I've messed up, not communicating to my wife. Maybe I've messed up and not been a leader that my kids needed to see in a certain situation, or just not acknowledging it and not accepting it and saying, hey, I need to learn from it in humility, but instead having my own pride and ego and arrogance, whatever, just dictating that conversation. I think that's probably the biggest lesson I'm taking from that debate, because it was a complete clown show. At the end, he just Pastor Locke, yells out, shut his mic off, turn his mic off, I don't want to hear it, get him out of here, run him off the stage. And that's basically what he did. He ended the debate, and it was over. And I don't want to be that. I really don't. And I need think we all need to be praying that we're not like that in whatever area it is. And I don't know, I mean, that's just me specifically looking at certain areas in my life and saying, oh yeah, I've got it there, I've got it there, I've got it there, and not even recognizing that, you know, by me saying that, hey, I've got this, that's my pride, that's my ego, just stepping in and dictating the conversation. And yeah, I don't want that. So yeah, just be praying that you're not being spiritually blinded to something that, you know, others may see around you, and it may take some humility. It may take some eating some crow on something, because that's what I'm going to be praying about. That, you know, that Yah opens my eyes to those things, that He helps me understand where I am failing in those areas in my life. Because I've got Mandela effect, kind of. I know that's happening. I know flat Earth is happening, and I just need to know where, you know, I'm not being a real follower of the Most High in my life, and where I'm failing to do the things that Jesus Christ, Yahushua HaMashiach, taught us to do. So anyway, guys, take care. God bless, and maybe do some more videos soon.